Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer II, The Twisted and the Twilight, where today we're starting off with an awful lot of elf murder. So we do have, of course, Orion's full army. We have a partial garrison. This is what one turn of garrison replenishment is supposed to look like. It's not usually how it works for the AI, but this is how it works for us. There is some interesting stuff in here. Obviously, there's a few units of archers, which even at their very weakened current strength, can deal significant damage. We have a lot of missile cavalry with poison weapons. So even if these guys aren't dealing a lot of damage, they can be keeping that poison debuff up on a lot of the enemy troops a lot of the time. Very important. And then, you know, there's a tree man. He's at like 20% health, but he's still a tree. He's still like a huge 110 armor smashy monster. So that garrison is going to be helpful. And then also we have like a pretty decent real army. Plus 5 armor piercing damage from this Razor Standard. We'll just put it on these guys, I guess. Alright, let's do it. The balance of power bar has us slightly not favored here, but I think we should be able to pick this up. We just got to make sure we deal with those dragons quickly. Keep in mind, most of the penalties assigned by poison, I believe, are percentage-based, and so they're actually more effective against more powerful units. A dragon will lose a larger amount of attack and damage on account of having real good numbers to start with. And we have a lot of anti-large. We have a lot of spear units. So and a couple of spear-wielding heroes even. So our reinforcements are coming in from kind of an awkward angle. I think we're going to set up over here. We could play this way, try to get them to come toward us, and then have our reinforcements come in behind them. But I think I'm going to make it easier for the reinforcements to run in and join up with the main army. My big concern with doing things the other way is that they may hold back and then decide to just challenge the reinforcements first, which obviously would be pretty bad news for them. They would all die horribly.
Great, Captain!
Alright, you two got your arrows. We actually have a lot of units to work with here. So I'm gonna command group some of this stuff. I don't know exactly what I want to do with all of this cavalry. Can we Vanguard deploy them in these trees over here? Okay. Let's keep them hidden. Orion is not hidden. Orion is just going to stand with the archers.
Eternal Guard!
You guys ready to run through? You guys similarly ready to run through. You're an archer. How wide is your range? Actually, very impressive. Look at the size of that circle. Okay. So Orion has some abilities here, but no actual spell casting. We need to get this army a proper wizard. Well, it's a thing we can do now. Okay, so they're volleying immediately. Yeah, I'm really worried about the dragons for sure. So obviously we want to break their lord as quickly as possible. Strong versus a single unit, good versus armor. But interestingly, it's ground targeted, huh? Oh yeah, it's a bombardment. Weird. Okay. Also, it's good versus a single unit, it's not good versus a single combatant. Those are different things. I kind of want to just burn their Glade Lord out as fast as possible. Let's try to focus on that. I would love to inflict on them the leadership penalty of having watched their lord die horribly in combat. Alright, and then because those guys are all going to be moving forward, you guys also have to... how do I want to do this? I mean, I guess we're just marching. They don't really have that many archers in the first place, so I guess there's not a ton of value in keeping my melee behind my ranged on this one. Orion's a pretty good fighter. He'll just go right up. These two we're going to have kind of separate out here. But remember, we don't have the freedom that we often have with our flying units because dragons. Because they will absolutely just run a bunch of dragons over and kill us with dragons.
Glory of the hunt!
Alright, all the reinforcements need to get over here. Okay, the volley is pretty significant there. So, we gotta figure out... Boy, Orion ate, like, everything. That was pretty rough. Alright, let's do some of this. Yeah, Orion just ate a lot of volley fire at the beginning of the battle there and took a huge amount of damage from it. You should probably also help out with this dragon nonsense. And I think these dragons have moved close enough. It is time to focus. So, how do we want to move in these units from the trees? We're mostly stealthed, but I'm noticing not all of the units have the stealth tag, so they know something's up over here. Because some of the units came in a place where there aren't trees. That's an annoying thing for them to have done. Well, do we want to have... I guess we just have them basically run out. You guys get over here. We have a bunch more archers. Oh, we definitely want these ones control grouped. Because I'm going to want to do some movement and stuff with them. We have a bunch of shock cavalry. This is kind of an awkward force. Let's have the shock cavalry run up here as well. Tree Man's already got orders. You three move to the tree line and we'll see. I would like to unite them with the rest of the archers. We'll see if that turns out to be viable. And I think I'm gonna hold off on our healthy units of cavalry. Those guys still are not revealed yet, and I'd love for that to remain the case.
Blade Captain! Righteous vengeance!
And we're burning that one dragon down pretty quickly.
End them!
I'm gonna summon the hounds. Yep, sadly here comes all of the dragon breath. One dragon down. And we can focus. We can burn them all down in about that time, but like you can see, there's a cost to pay for a thing like that. Let's have Orion fall back for the moment. This is just a charge bonus thing. He can keep standing kind of in the middle of everything. That's fine. Alright. Archers. Various cavalry units. Let's have... Basically, let's have a bunch of you push over here. I don't want to go after the tree man just yet. Let's put... I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to put in skirmish mode, which means they will take pains to avoid melee combat. One of these Glade Riders on each of the remaining dragons. We'll just try to make sure that they stay poisoned at all times until we have time to deal with them. And you know what? We should probably, now that the battle has been joined properly, we should probably bring up the healthy cavalry and do some charges on their melee. We'll use our weaker cavalry to disrupt their ranged. Yeah, I think that's sensible. Alright, you guys just push. Unfortunately, their melee are quite a bit better than mine, so that's a bummer. And as soon as the cavalry there get close to making contact, we're gonna pop that big charge bonus. We got one dragon in pretty rough shape. Okay. Alright, let's refocus here. So I'm going to have most of the ranged go after this dragon, while these two, in melee mode, stay on you with big damage bonus. Okay, Foe Seeker doesn't make any sense here. Hopefully that turns out to be sensible. Tree Man is very, very slowly approaching. And yeah, you can see the wounded cav, even as they are not individually much of a threat, the archers are just terrified of getting charged. Unfortunately, they did run back to their Tree Man, which we're going to have a hard time countering. That's a pretty good play on their part. You guys run up and fire into the backs of some people. Alright. Charge and... charge. It's okay to charge a spear unit as long as it's not looking at you. Alright, Orion's stuff is all on cooldown. Yeah, I need more spells, man. We need spells to cast. Our melee are definitely going to lose to their melee, and we're just trying to buy time, trying to make sure that the rest of this stuff gets done, and then we can use our superior ranged weaponry. So yeah, you can see the heroes. The heroes are holding their own against that dragon, the pair of them, working together. Now, we don't need to tell the range to go after that, because he's the only thing in their firing arc. Okay, he is dead too, and I think this is now... Is this the only remaining dragon? Did we kill 4? I don't know. Get him is the point. You two, back to ranged mode. You get him. You have to fall back off of that dragon. You're tough, but you're not... It's not quite working. Alright. The cavalry charge is buying us some time, it looks like. And the Treekin are actually in position to maybe start contributing to the battle. So I'm going to have... Boy, what do we do with this tree man? The problem is, he's just low enough on like health and stuff that I don't really feel like it makes sense to charge him into their range, given their positions and stuff. I think he'll just get pulled apart. So... yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have him run for that, I guess. And then you guys, who are helping to keep poison on dragons, I guess you're just going to form up over here and keep firing poison into the enemies. If we have them go after the ranged, they'll get shot to pieces, because of course they are large and easy to hit. Yep, okay. That dragon should go down really quickly. Orion's going to make it to freedom. And now we can take advantage of the terrain here. Reform our ranged and just crush them. You two should probably just fire some arrows. Oh, a little bit of friendly fire on that one. Alright, yep, do some of this. So we got to be really careful. Heroes on hawks are very vulnerable to enemy ranged. I think we're going to pull the hawk heroes over to here. You guys... Is this the smartest move for them? You know what? I'm going to have them harass the enemy lord. We're going to keep our own lord back and safe for the moment. Let's have you run up here. We got to start breaking down the enemy ranged. The time has come. Alright, the Treekin are getting in, and we have some control over what's going on in this melee now. So that bombardment is fine. Let's call up some hounds. Now, the unfortunate part about this spell is it's going to do a lot of damage, but it moves around randomly, so it may well just move out of the mass of them immediately. But due to the fact that it moves around randomly, it's really, really not safe to cast it like in a place where it could wander into your own troops. So you do kind of want to cast it on the edge of the enemy formation and just hope that it works the way that it should. Hope that it works in the hopeful way. Alright, as soon as we've broken them, switch you up. Nope, don't run over there, just shoot. Orion should also be shooting at those ones. And yeah, their lord is actually dying. He needs to do something.
Our aim is true.
Okay. As we break them off of the... as we break their ranged off, we have this wonderful position where we can fire into the flank of the enemy melee. And once there's a much smaller number of arrows here, we can... In fact, it's probably fine to do it now. You can have these two go in melee mode and drop down on our enemies.
Strength of summer. Orion sends me. Blade Captain. I cannot.
You drop on them, you drop on them.
Forest spirits to me.
Alright, buffs up, let's do it.
Way Watchers. To battle.
Try to run off some of this stuff. You guys should move over here and do this from the flank. Looks like we've driven their lord off. I think we're going to see them completely give up in a second here. People hate to be shot in the flanks. The only thing they have left that I'm even the slightest bit worried about at this point is the Tree Man, which we've really not done any damage to. But I think we're gonna find that they are about to surrender. Where is these units? Run off and fight some archers. See what you can do. And keep in mind, it doesn't, like, Orion's army doesn't have to end this battle in good shape. We are in prime recruitment position. We are in prime replenishment position. We can put our stuff back together really quickly. Yeah, we came out way ahead on terrain there. We got pretty lucky that that ridge was, like, just inside of our deployment zone. Because that was going to make it very hard. Even if our melee had broken, that was going to make it really awkward for them to effectively sweep their melee into our ranged. Because we could just use 1 or 2 units of archers to sort of like bottleneck them down at the edge of the ridge and the rest of them to fire down into them. So we killed those dragons pretty quickly. You can see the kill counts are pretty low. They got that Tree Man for the entirety of the battle, but he spent so much time kind of wandering back and forth that he also doesn't really have any kills. We did lose a bunch of melee to their largely superior melee, but on the whole, that was, I think, fairly clean. It'll be good XP for all of our heroes, too. Except you, I guess. Alright, let's take the physical resistance. I mean, this army doesn't have quite as much replenishment stuff as the Sisters' army, but unfortunately, this is such a tiny amount. I don't think abducting captives actually makes any sense at all. Alright, they'll fall back. They just have the 1 army and the 1 settlement, and we're about to get a burst of, 1 turn of our territory replenishment, and then we could push over there and just kill them, potentially. Just take their whole deal over. Phaonix is ready to be reassigned. All kinds of stuff is happening. Okay, let's focus up here. How much healing did we get? Okay, it was significant, but it sure could be better. Let's grab... We're not that likely to have a bunch of extra Hawk Riders in this army. I guess the thing where our Hawk Riders have the volley ability is faction-wide, not hero-specific, right? Yeah, okay. So, Hawk Riders are better for us than they usually are. Maybe I should take this and just go ahead and bring some extra Hawk Riders in. I mean, you're definitely going to be fighting in the forest a lot. Yeah, you know what? Let's grab Kinband Captain first. And you should be immortal. Would hate to lose a level 21 Waystalker. Alright, so their army is rough. They do have a 17-unit garrison. Let's see if they'll just take peace. In fact, peace and a non-aggression pact, and let's just chill the fuck out, shall we? I mean, do we want to, We're not going to be able to get a confederation off of them. The thing is, we actually don't care, right? If they confederate. That's not a thing that I'm interested in. Can we get some money from them? I don't really need the money, but they want to live, so... Oh, sorry, we can't ask for an amount greater than 10,000. I will do my duty. Okay. Enough of that noise. We have other things that we gotta be doing. I gotta rebuild this tree, because you burned part of it down, and... Very irresponsible. Sisters of Twilight. Okay, so... I guess we just push east at this point, right? I think we're good. And I'm not too worried about... Yeah, I guess... No, let's not. Let's not actually be in the settlement. You know, I'm always nervous about being inside of a place if I don't have to be, although I guess when you march it doesn't make much of a difference. Alright, Otrolio continues to Otrol them, and... I mean, they hate it. They hate it, but they fear us. Oh, right. Except we gotta actually do something about this. Okay, I'll be back. we shall return to raid you. So we gotta stick close to where the plant life is, otherwise we're gonna suffer some pretty brutal attrition out here. But let's go have a look at what's going on this front. Volnal, am I worried about people approaching from the north? I guess we could have him run up this way, and we could scout. I think we are actually part of a multiplayer push here that I think we are going to get the Dark Elves. I think we're going to wipe them out. Let's just make sure that we're providing lots and lots of intel. I guess just like assault random units. May as well keep pushing for XP, right? Solace should probably get down here. We could use an agent to help us with the war in the south. Orion can just go chill in the Kingsglade for a minute. Get that even better replenishment. I mean, do we want to change things up? We have access to, to real units here. Maybe we don't want to be running so much shieldless Eternal Guard. These guys are high level, and that is a consideration. That's a lot of extra stats. But, you want to have Wild Riders, right? Did you have an ability or something? We totally saw... This is what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, so let's get some Wild Riders in here. And maybe also Ariel. Maybe that would be worth doing. So... Wild Riders... There are Wild Riders with shields, aren't there? Is that a thing? Let me look at my cavalry building. So Glade Riders are... Okay, Wild Riders with shields require an armory, which we do not have in this settlement. Well... Do we want one? I mean, if I'm going to be going in on Wild Riders, we should try to cover one of the weaknesses of cavalry, which is getting shot to tiny pieces. So, we definitely don't want to break this. I guess we could just drop... We could drop a money-making building. It's fine. So we'll do that, and I guess we'll do the recruiting once we get the armory up. So for right now, maybe we don't change anything. Yeah, for right now we don't change anything. We'll just let that sit. Speed up for all armies, charge bonuses. We're definitely, we're past all of the important technologies here. Okay, so we do need to keep checking in with the Briar Maiden of Woe. Wherever the hell, here we go. How's this going? 48 towards 75, I like it. She's still not willing to come around on any of this stuff, but we'll get there. And hopefully we haven't taken... I think when we came to the defense of our ally there and ended up at war with those Wood Elves, I think we broke a pact with them, so we may have taken a hit to our diplomatic reliability. It's not unrecoverable. It would have happened either way, to be clear. We had too many pacts with too many people, unfortunately. Can lead to those situations where you have to choose to break with someone. And Reichland was the right people to stay on the good side of, for sure. And unfortunately, now Orion's army is just kind of in the wrong place, and they're going to be there for a while. Got another 9 turns on our wild root cooldown, or our deep root cooldown. We need to really hope that the border princes piss off the orcs. Something fierce. Boy, there sure are a lot of agents belonging to that faction tracking my army around. Oh, cool. More gifts. So missile strength up for all units. Let's go for some new... We still need some talismans. Yeah, sure. Dragon Mask is fine. It does look like we are running out of incoming gifts. So we need to... Like, this, obviously, Spite Reach is not a problem. King Inithor can handle Spite Reach. I think we want to lay a trap for Malekith. But unfortunately, it's hard to know what he's going to go after. We can just, like, move up to, like, as close as it will let us move up to and still pull ambush mode. And just hope that he chooses to wander into it. I think if he were going after Saji, I think a straight line takes him through our ambush zone. If he's going to Spite Reach, we probably don't get him.
An ambush. How delicious.
But I think that's about the best that's going to get. Dodan, I guess get down here. We don't really need to see into the rest of the mountains over here. It's just going to be orcs and dwarves fighting. We could use Dodan in that conflict in the south. The worst part about fighting in the desert is that the combat takes place over a really, really wide swath of land, and unfortunately that means that you need additional scouts. You need more vision than usual to keep track of everything. Alright, Solace. Unfortunately, movement across the Badlands is a little bit slow. So we've met the followers of Nagash. I guess they must have... Why did we meet them there? Is this their territory? No, this all belongs to... Wow. Khemri, the capital of the Tomb Kings, belongs to Tlaqua. That's not great news for us. Tlaqua is a little bit more powerful than I might like. Alright, well, one problem at a time. Except we're definitely engaged in more than one problem at a time. 53 trending upward. Let's give you another gift. My reliability is still very high. Very, very high is good. Here, take this. We're not going to be able to do that again until we spill some blood. I do kind of wish that some of our allies would maybe attack from the east here. We have a bunch of ports and stuff. They should be capable of this. Aha! We got him.
It will be a glorious battle. Accept Ariel's will.
We're not in friendly territory right now, so I am going to take the replenishment. Okay, Hellebrand did complicate things over there. Looks like our allies are really focusing up. It's just a matter of actually getting people into useful positions. I don't like how spread out all of the Tomb King's stuff is. Like, why bring all these armies in from different angles with so much distance between them? If you're going to use 3 armies to fight the same force, they could at least be in positions where they're supporting each other, right? Alright, so we still don't actually see any armies from Tlaqua.
This forest's health has improved enough to...
Oh, cool. Yeah, we should definitely do a ritual when we have the time. We're not in any huge hurry. Yes, continue to improve my stuff. Okay, even better healing from the Dreaming Ring. That's pretty nice. Sestashal hit max rank, and what do we want? I guess magic resist? Or we could take like a single point of boost income, which seems pretty bad. I mean, this also is not great.
The Sisters of Twilight.
Alright, so Hellebrand, unfortunately, is going to be at basically full health. So that Tomb King army went down without a fight. Almost entirely without a fight. They have 3 War Hydras and a Charybdis, which is like a particularly mean War Hydra. And a Black Dragon. It does not feel like it would be very safe for us to push forward here. So I'm going to fall back to Grond to take a turn of proper replenishment.
Merge with shadow.
And we'll hope that we can bait them forward into another ambush. You know how I love ambushes.
Lord of the Forest.
I guess we have We have some amount of military access stuff going on here. You know, we can actually just have Orion walk back to Lorelorn. We do have underway movement, right? Okay, yeah, so we'll move to these mountains, and then we'll, oh, I'm not friendly enough with those elves. Can we change that? Nope, they do not have any interest in a military access. Alright, well, I guess we'll do this a little bit differently then. We'll, boy, I guess we'll just move to right here. Let's get that forge going. In order to do underway movement, you have to spend your entire turn underway moving, so we can't move a little bit to set up and then do it. But next turn we'll move into Fester Spike, and the Empire will be cool with that, and then from there we'll run to Lorelorn. I think it is going to end up being faster than waiting for the cooldown on the world routes, and then we'll have the cooldown available as well.
Born to protect.
Alright, Varcio... I don't know. There's not really a ton of value for you to do, unfortunately. Go mess with that dragon. Go fight a dragon for me. I'm sure there's no way this could go wrong.
Kurnos guided my hand.
Yeah, okay, I mean, she did it.
I am a queen.
Yeah, wow. She got over halfway through killing that dragon before anybody showed up to interrupt her. Let's grab... Foe Seeker, I guess? Like, it almost can't matter. Okay, you need to get eyes on some of these dinosaur armies. I'm assuming... Oh, Khemri does not have much of a garrison. Interesting. We might be able to do some real damage down here. Thing is, I just need to make sure that my friendly armies don't... Or my friendly faction doesn't lose control of these. Or we have to empty them, if they do. So we can't quite execute an attack here. I think we'll move up. Ambushes are tough in the middle of the desert. I'm not expecting them to fall into this. There's a pretty good chance they're just going to see right through it. But we can't. If we could attack this turn, if we had the movement, we would do it. Alright, so all of our armies have received orders. Let's just check in with the Briar Maiden again. 63 toward 97. Still nothing, really. Well, we'll just have to hope that trend's high enough. Listen, at some point, it's going to be like gloves off, let's just kill everybody who's in control of one of these forests.
Spit it out then.
But it's certainly not plan A. Okay, I like this. Setting some bait here, trying to draw them into our nonsense. Oh, and it worked. What a beautiful attack it is.
Fight for the forest.
No, don't lightning strike. We actually have reinforcements this time. We definitely do not want to lightning strike.
There is no other way.
Make ourselves a great big chunk of money. Alright, so in the last 2 turns, we've wiped out 2 full-sized high-tech armies from the Dark Elves. We should, at this point, be able to push back really, really hard. And we have 3 players worth of units with which to do so. Our allies are having a tough time because they're not as adapted to the conditions as we are. You know, we have that thing, that tech that makes us not suffer snow attrition, and they have nothing comparable. They're not actually taking any actions against us. They're just making sure that they're in position to take such actions if they feel like it. Public order down, or these are neither one of these mean anything. Okay, rituals available in the Vale, which is also good news. Having a hell of a time selecting this army. Okay. So we can underway ourselves through the mountain there. What are we doing with you? We're taking the second point of Apotheosis. It's not like a super exciting spell, but it's totally fine. So, do we want to push Harganeth now and prevent them from building up there? If our allies are able to deal with anywhere, it's going to be Hellenor. Somebody's got to break Harganeth. I guess it's me.
Open them up.
So we now have a whole bunch of modifiers. Oh yeah, wow. Enemy garrisons start suffering attrition the turn after we engage. You know what? I'm gonna actually sit here. We're gonna crack this place open.
Harmony shall reign.
So let's build some siege equipment. I don't think the Dark Elves have an army to come over here and push us off of this. The Black Pillar was burned. We got allies over here. Dargoth fell to High Elves. Karendkar belongs to Olithanar. Yeah, they're just done for. Alright, I would expect that we will probably not actually get to do too much damage here. My figuring is we are going to get... the garrison of that settlement is going to push out and attack us in the field. This is unfortunate. We can't reach Bagar, and we'd have to walk across a whole bunch of attrition territory to reach it. Well, we can burn the Spring of Eternal Life. I don't know how much that helps. Like we kind of got to deal with this. Yeah, you know what? What we want is for them to want to give up the war. That's the most important thing. Let's just raise it. I don't really want Tlaqua having that. Let's go for Earthblood. Slowly but surely, you are headed toward this conflict. It's going to take them a while to reach it. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point that there are not any hidden enemies up here. There's no chaos armies crouching at the edge of the map. But also there's no reason to redirect him. So they are following my agents with agents of their own. Yeah, Tlaqua just owns like everything the main Tomb King faction is supposed to own. They've done very well for themselves down here. Pretty annoyingly so, in fact. We really don't have time to, like, actually eliminate them. Did Sandrina move close enough there to actually serve as reinforcements on my attack? I don't think she did. I think she's just a little bit short. Oh, hey! They have additional forces. Well, that's interesting. So they successfully assaulted us. I mean, do we want to go for this? It would be really nice to wipe out their legendary lord. And honestly, his army looks fairly weak. So he's flying cavalry, and he's got a fair amount of flying stuff. These are flying missile units. We will shoot them down pretty quickly. And then he's got a bunch of skinks, which are just like tiny little guys with blowguns. His reinforcements, he has a little bit of real melee stuff, and Sauruses are not a joke. Sauruses are very tough. But I don't think they're going to stand much of a chance against the Zotes plus the Treekin. Like, we have the ability to cycle charges on them and stuff. I think we can take this. And if we can't take this and we lose the Tree Singer, then, you know, this disengages us from a theater of war that is not really going that well, so, you know, it'll be okay. So we definitely want to be super aggressive here. We want to burn down these flying units as quickly as we can before the reinforcements show up. Their reinforcements should come in from behind them, because the positions of the enemies on the world map is actually what determines the reinforcement direction. So yeah, I think we probably just want to rush them here. Alright, you guys start as far forward as you possibly can. Honestly, you guys also, as far forward as you possibly can. And then, I guess the Zotes should probably not be moving with the Blade Singers. These are definitely two different applications. Tree Man and Hero. Yeah, let's just do it, right? Let's bring it right to him. So you guys here, and you lot here. Let's do it. Okay, run forward. Y'all need to focus on the riders first. Let's take out their missile cav. I'm not too worried about the Ripperdactyls. They'll land, and we can fight them on the ground. Their Lord, Tic-Tac-Toe, is actually pretty dangerous. But I think I want to try to cut down their larger numbers of air cav first. Alright, and then all of you guys, I don't know, just run forward. Same with you. You do have some spells. Can I hit Tic-Tac-Toe with this? Oh, he doesn't have ammo. He's a melee unit, that's right. Well, then we may as well just hit some flying unit. It kind of doesn't even matter what. And the Waystalker gives me a volley on... Yeah, just someone. Someone, doesn't matter who. Okay. Let's see what they do with this. Is the Tree Singer casting? He hasn't actually spent the there it is. There it is. It finally went off. So it looks like they may be planning to land all of their flying cavalry directly on my lord, which I think would be a really bad move. He will tear them to pieces. Honestly, I just don't think Ripperdactyls are very good. Alright, the Saurus Scar Veteran gets focused on here. So I would love it if we could have most of this stuff done before they actually get into range. Maybe. We'll see. So their skinks are just going to fall back and shoot poison at us, and it's going to be really annoying. There's not a lot we can do except chase them. Alright, there we go. There's the proper volleys. You guys get in there and zote them up good. Alright, this is just going to be kind of an arbitrary orgy of violence over here. We're not applying a lot of tactics on this one. You guys should turn around. Yeah, they're getting roughed up as expected. I guess turn around and help with this. I don't really want them to run too much further forward. Come over here. Yeah, let's have them come over here. You guys should also come over here. You should cast... We probably don't need Dreaming Cloak just yet. I guess I should just cast Shield of Thorns, but if I'm going to cast Shield of Thorns, it should be one of these guys who... If we're going to cast stuff, it should be from these units over here. So we can't overcast this, obviously. Let's just heal. We'll employ a couple of quick heals. Try to leave ourselves in decent position for the incoming reinforcements. Alright, mostly what we're doing is just keeping the poison off of our units who are actually fighting over here. Seems to be working out just fine. Yep, that's a lot of arrows. Focus on the wounded Skink Chief. Wow, that volley really burned him down. Holy shit. That was a lot more effective than I was expecting. It looks like these Treekin are going to die in maybe one of the most combat-efficient ways I've ever seen. Really, they're drawing a lot of attention. Alright, come on, knock him out. Boy, it always seems like they hold on with that last little bit of health forever. Alright, so it's out. Let's get ready for the second charge. So they're going to get their sources in here. This is actually maybe a higher priority for the archers. The salamander hunting pack is going to shoot a bunch of fireballs at us, and we have a lot of units who are not like super fire resistant. So we should probably do something about that. This seems like a good time for the Deepwood Scouts. Let's get you guys up, and then Blade Singer's also back. The Treekin, I have to say, I'm very disappointed by their performance. They have not held together as well as I was hoping. So we still have a Skink Chief. Yeah, we still have like a lot of units in here. Units that should be dead already. You guys are really slacking. Let's have you focus up on that Chief. Let's try to get rid of him. And maybe a good time for an awakening. Just slow down some of their approaching melee. Honestly, I'm not that... I guess the... Slow down their incoming spears. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so hopefully these Glade Guard will be able to get their arrows into the salamanders quickly. I'm gonna get the Zotes out to the side here.
Your command? Yes.
Alright, Blade Singers, stay in. Just try to knock this out quickly. It does look like they're totally going to let me just walk around to the side that I want to be on. Are you killing him? Are you doing it? Because it would be great if he were dead already. Alright, this isn't exactly how I thought this was going to go, but... Are they really going to try to use skinks to break my charge? That's not going to work out very well. Alright, they're trying to bring spears in to break the charge instead. That's a better idea. They also have a little bit of their own cavalry. You gotta remember, their cavalry is... Our Zotes are anti-large. We are anti-large cavalry, so this will probably go okay, but they did get that charge off, and that is certainly going to hurt. Alright, we'll spend a couple more heals here. This Skink Chief is still alive, so I mean, there are barely words for my disappointment on that front. Yeah, I guess you should keep shooting at those guys, because they are not going to go down to a cavalry charge the way we were hoping. You should go throw a quick heal on somebody. And then they have a whole bunch of, like, really completely destroyed units of cavalry that just are not dead for some reason. We got all of their cavalry units down to a single figure remaining immediately, and then none of them were actually able to be killed. And that's very bad. That's very bad news. Let's throw up some buffs and stuff, and hopefully somehow survive this. Also, you never actually summoned your Dreaming Cloak units. Let's let the spell get off, and then we'll try that again.
Armed and ready. At speed.
Yep, I clicked on a unit because I wanted you to shoot that unit. So we can keep pulling some of their melee back. It looks like they're very nervous about the Zotes. Okay, we forced a rampage on the salamanders, so they will not be shooting fire anymore. They are charging into combat, which is also dangerous. Salamanders are pretty bad melee fighters. They're pretty bad at surviving melee. They do actually do a lot of damage, though. Real glass cannon units. Alright, you guys try to fall back. I wanted to harass those skinks. I thought they were going to do a better job. A faster job. Alright, tree nerds, get back in there. You, how do we want to refocus you now? You should shoot tic-tac-toe as much as you possibly can. And then Tree Man's just kind of standing in the middle here, and he's doing it. He's surviving. Let's overcast an Earthblood. Get some health back for as many of us as we can. And I don't necessarily think it's time for this, because the enemy's not, like, you. I really want to use a minus leadership effect when we have reason to believe that the enemies might start losing leadership sometime soon. Alright, nice of all of you to rejoin us. Let's finish off these Pterodon riders. Nope, don't. Boy, it seems pretty frequent now that I right-click on an enemy and that gets interpreted as a move near the enemy command instead of as the thing that it obviously is. Alright, the Zotes are getting routed a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't really have enough treekin to hold the line in the middle here, so it's tough to feel like it's safe to try to pull the Blade Singers for a flank, but we gotta do something. You are just, like, absolutely refusing to use your Volley of Kurnus under any circumstances, which is very annoying. And we should probably get another Shield of Thorns up. We desperately need more Shields of Thorns. Okay, that did some damage. Bows are not really firing all that much. I guess just, like, break down enemy units. They're having a hard time firing into the melee because of how our units are, like, balled up. And unfortunately, yeah, like, if we move around to the side, we're not even going to improve the situation by all that much. Why is this guy still alive? Why are we doing such a bad job of targeting enemies with bows? I will say, I'm like very unimpressed with the performance of the ranged units in this army. They are just way less effective than the ranged units in our other army. So all of their stuff is still alive. We're going to lose this. Finally starting to deal some damage to that Skink Chief. Yeah, alright, it's adding up a little bit. It's probably a little bit later than I would like, but hey, at least the Dune Kingdoms will probably be happy we relieved some pressure off of them, even if we do end up losing this battle and this army. Okay, one more down. Yeah, I have to say, I'm really pretty bummed out about the very, very bad damage. And I know that these are our tier 1 ranged unit. But they're doing nothing. They're accomplishing nothing. Alright. These guys are attacking me without a flag-bearing unit. Because the game does not always function the way it should. Part of the point of the units with the flags on their heads is they're supposed to make it more obvious what's happening. So, you know, when when units can move around without their flag, it does create a little bit of an awkward situation. Also, it's way easier to click on an enemy unit when they have their flag. Okay, the arrows are coming out now. I can't believe there's this many Reprodactyls still alive. In fact, I'm pretty sure there weren't, right? Didn't we... I don't know, maybe there was a Reprodactyl unit in the second army and I didn't notice? Okay, it looks like there's only 2 of them still alive. Yeah, they just don't... That unit just doesn't have a flag anymore. And unfortunately, our tree man is bound up in the middle of enemies over here in a way that's going to make it really awkward for him to help out with any of this. Okay, you need to charge forward. We need all of these archers over here to spread out so that these archers over here can just shoot the backsides of the things that are attacking them. But honestly, like, none of their characters have taken any damage in that big melee in the middle, and that is a problem. That is a problem that we cannot solve at this point. We are past being able to beat them, I think. Let's just throw some more health on the archers and do as much damage as we can on the way out the door, I guess. You guys gotta buy time for these archers to back off. Alright, you lot. Shoot tic-tac-toe. Break him. And some of you are just gonna get meleeed. Sorry about that. That's a real bummer. Alright, we got some treekin coming back in. If we could break tic-tac-toe off of this army, it will help our allies a lot in being able to withstand things. Because, I mean, you know, a legendary lord is a big deal. And I did not focus as much as I needed to here, but honestly, a big part of that was just figuring that, like, my units would do their jobs. I think maybe we've gotten a little too comfortable. Okay, we did kill tic-tac-toe. Gotten a little too comfortable with the way our units control when they are... with the effectiveness of our units when they are under the control of the sisters, who have all these buffs. And the Tree Singers units are just a lot worse. Okay, we are doing some more damage to their cavalry. A big problem when fighting lizardmen is that they just do not give up. Lizardmen have really great leadership, and their characters especially. And then on top of that, a lot of their units have the rampage mechanic that causes them to, instead of giving up at low leadership, even if you should weaken them, they instead go nuts and fight more. Can you guys back off? Will the treekin hold these things in place? I would love it if we could get a little bit more spread out here. Could inflict some more damage before we yield. I mean, this has been a very expensive battle for them. And then I guess we'll just start building a new army in Gaean Vale and do the Ritual of Rebirth there. We will have to come down here and deal with the bowmen eventually. But it's a thing we're not going to want to use a single army for, probably. Which means that we can't really do it with the world roots, right? You guys focus on this unit. We might be able to actually... Just keep my tree man up. I mean, he's almost defeated 3 units of Sauruses by himself. So hopefully if you were unsure of, like, what the value of a tree man is, this has clarified things a little bit. They're really, really good fighters. Come on, actually kill that wizard before he gets away. Yeah. At this point, we are just spitefully murdering their individual characters. And I feel fine with that. I am okay with it. Actually, this guy's going to be a little easier to get. Alright, our tree man actually gave up, finally. Fortunately, a lot of these units are on, they're on, like, Raptor back. Not these two. But a fair number of their characters, which does make them a little bit easier to shoot. Part of the reason I think some of these ones in the middle survived is because they are not on mounts, and as such are a little bit better camouflaged in the melee. I mean, we got him running, but he's trapped. I would love it if we could finish the job. He doesn't have that much health left. You guys can get him. Oh, I can't. Don't have enough winds to overcast.
For the
We're going to continue spitefully dealing damage here. So I think we did get that character. Actually, let's all focus up on this guy now. This guy's on a dinosaur, so he will be a little bit easier to shoot from a distance. No, there goes. There goes the leadership cascade. Okay, we should have been able to win that. I should have been able to win that. I am not the best Total War Warhammer player in the world. But the loss of this army is largely meaningless. It is going to cost us a little bit of time, in that we are now going to have to come back down to this forest later to actually get the thing going. But, and when that does happen, it is probably the case that Tlactwell will own everything down here based on how strong they have been. So we're definitely going to have to get these heathlands giving us health by just burning everything, and then Tlactwell will resettle it, and then we'll burn it again. We're not going to be able to use friendliness to get our job done. Again, that's just going to mean that we need to bring like 2 or 3 armies next time we do this. I spread myself too thin trying to do too many things at once. Also, the game has been loaded out of this battle for some time. Let's go. My Armor of Fortune was stolen. Oh, and then they just backed off. They didn't even finish the job. Well, that's interesting. I think we're probably gonna manually disband that army then. There's no sense in trying to like use the global replenishment pool to rebuild them down there. But I don't know why they wouldn't have just finished the job. Also, sorry about all the dog noise. There's no way to tell a dog that this is quiet time. Alright, so we give up on this front. We put together an army in Gaean Vale. We use them to do the Ritual of Rebirth there. Orion's on the way back to Lorelorn to do the Rebirth there. We still got to figure out the Briar Maiden of Woe thing. There's still this forest down here that is going to be a real problem, and I don't have any kind of solution in mind for. But as we've just learned, we can only resolve so many problems at once, and trying to overdo it puts us in a weakened position and makes us less effective at all of the things we're going for. Alright, Theodi gained a companion, some orc stuff is happening. Did the Sword of Cain change hands? Uh-oh. Well, we're in the area. We might be able to do that. We did kill an awful lot of enemy characters. A lot of spiteful murders did occur. And I think that right there is where we're going to have to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, hopefully we're going to avoid embarrassing ourselves fighting dinosaurs in the desert again. This is a folly that I feel like we can learn from. And we'll see you then.